Oh, what's up, everyone? It's Jimbo here. Here to talk about some issues that I've been having lately. Twisted my ankle about, I'm gonna say 3, 4 weeks ago, and I'm sorry about the noise in the background. My daughter's watching Lilo and Stitch. Um, but anyways, I went up for a block, and I don't know how it happened, but I landed on the guy's foot, and I had never felt the amount of pain that I felt that day in my ankle. I've twisted my ankles, but I think the last time I twisted it was like maybe 15, 16 years ago, when I was about 15. um, so let me show you guys pretty much how it looked. This is the night of. You guys can see there that there was a lot of bruising in that mid above the ankle and below the ankle, and then I did receive some treatment. I just got wrapped up with some KT tape, and I worked on some muscles around the area, and it was feeling pretty good, but I decided to go ahead and play on it again, and it was okay. Not having no problems, and it was looking like this afterwards. It's looking a lot better. The bruising is not as pronounced. Um, I played on it that day. I didn't have any issues, but then um, I decided to go on this little jog during lunchtime at work. Over in Santa Clarita, they have some a nice little running trail that you can walk on and run on or without. But I decided to go to the park. It's it's a little bit more gravelly. There's a lot of rocks. And while I was jogging, I was taped up. Had slight mobility on my ankle, not full mobility. I stepped on a rock and just tweaked it really, really bad, to the point that I couldn't, even if I tied my shoe really tight, there's nothing I could do about it. It just hurt. So, luckily, I have another coworker that used to play football, and he remembers how to tape ankles. So, I got that done while I was at work. He went ahead and taped my ankle for me, and pretty much from 12 to about 4:30, it remained in that state. Not a lot of flex or movement or anything, but it did what it had to do. Uh, so in the meanwhile, um, I wasn't gonna have enough time to keep taping my foot up, so I decided to go buy a brace. So that night I cut everything off, and then I actually went to go buy a brace, and I purchased two of them, McDavid and Mueller. They're both pretty much identical. They both look like this, and they both have the strings and the straps, and then the collar. Um, this one is the less bulkier of them, the Mueller, and this one I used it for like the first week and a half. Um, I used it for the first week and a half, just to make sure that I wasn't going to tweak my ankle, and it saved me a few times just walking on uneven surfaces at work, or getting out of coming out of doors, and you might hit like a uneven surface, things like that, rocks or steps that you're not completely familiar with. All those things. It's crazy because you take the stability for granted. When it's not there, it's like, oh my god. So I bought that one, and I was recommended another one for once I start getting more mobility. They recommended I don't know how to say it, but it's a ZAMST. It's a mast, maybe. It's the ones that Steph Curry wears. so that way I can get back to playing basketball. So there's a couple things that I did that got me back to playing basketball, and I've only played 2 times. Once in a league game, and I was pretty much doing nothing but rebounding. Didn't have any explosion because I wore the Mueller. And then the second time, uh, I just felt weird having to play in the new in the Steph Curry brace, and then my other foot just feeling like it didn't have any mobility, or one foot with mobility and the other one without. It's just a little weird. Although the Steph Curry brace gives you mobility because you have those hinges, and then they have the elastics that actually help keep your foot in a certain position. So you do have forward and back movement, but it's not a full movement. You just got to get used to it. So um, I did some exercises, and let's take a look at them. So you're gonna need to get yourself one of these. Spread it out. Spread it out like that. And then grab the middle. Put right in the middle. Make sure you're at the middle. Your toes. Pull it back. So this is normal. This is normal. Pull it back. So if you're at your knee, pull it up to your thigh. Listen good. Or right about your groin actually. Pull it that far. And you just flex it out. Obviously you're gonna go ahead and take your time with it. You're gonna do rotations. Obviously do it as long as there's no pain. If you can go this way and then half without pain, then you do that. If you go this way and you have pain, then just kind of barely go around it. Don't do the full rotation. Okay? You go to the next one, the other way. Now again, if you have pain going this way, then you just kind of you go until you don't have any pain, and then you go forward. So you're just trying to make sure that whatever amount of mobility you have, you don't lose it. See, I'll have it right here. Alright, so you're gonna kind of give yourself a pull, small pull. If it's pain, then you probably won't be able to do this yet, but what you can do is that you can just do a hold, just strengthen the area. So pull back to your full resistance and just hold your foot there. Hold it. To that, then you can just go all the way till there's no, and then you pull back to the original position. That's if you don't have any, if you can't go to the left. If you can go to your left, then you're actually gonna do repetitions. And do the same thing. You're just gonna switch it. Keep your leg crossed. And same thing. Do a pillar, something you can hold on to. And you start lifting your toes up. It's probably gonna be kind of uncomfortable. Okay, just widening it out. Or get a different angle. Pigeon toe it. Different angle. So pretty much using those exercises and pretty much bracing my ankle while I was at work for about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. And then while I was at home, I was trying to just kind of walk on it because I know the surfaces that are here are pretty even. So putting on and taking off that Mueller ankle brace is a little bit cumbersome. It doesn't fit in all shoes, but it really provides a lot of stability. Let's take a look at it. So you take a look. You got the laces, got the straps that are going to provide the stability, and then you got the collar. So Put my foot in it. So one thing that I suggest is pulling this out as much as possible, and don't tighten it as much. It will start to cut off your circulation. So make sure you have a good. So just lace it up. So lace them all up. You can go as tight as you want. Just you want to make sure that you have circulation and that your foot's not falling asleep, which it will if you tighten it too much. So this is just kind of giving you the support so that you won't, so now you don't have this movement anymore. So, and you have these. So I twisted my ankle this way. So when I go under this one, I'm not gonna put any stretch on it. I'm just gonna stick it here. That's the normal position, and I don't want that going anywhere. This one, on the other hand, I'm gonna grab it, and then I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up. So now that one's tight. I'm gonna grab this, tighten that up some more. Now I'm gonna tighten this one a little bit. Tighten this. And then that's it. So, hi Leo. So now you don't have pretty much any movement at all. So as long as you are able to do some small exercises, or light exercises I should say, that helps you keep your range of motion, as well as doing low shock exercises that keep you in motion, like a normal motion that you would usually use. It's just going to help you progress and not be as uncomfortable. Pretty much you'll keep your ankle loose, it's not stiff, and you'll start bearing weight on it a lot faster, and the swelling will go down too. So that, paired with the massaging around the area, because everything starts to affect. Like, let's say this was the ankle and I twisted it, and everything else on the above it is going to start to compensate because of that pain. And if you don't take care of the muscles surrounding it, getting massage, going to see your chiropractor, or just getting some work done on it, some electrostimulation massages or some actual massages, it'll be a pain just to start getting into it, start doing things. So I've been doing some Pilates that helps with lightweight, low shock, strengthening, stability. I've been doing the exercises that I showed above, or before this, along with massaging and cycling. Cycling is another great tool to use to keep yourself in motion and to keep your movement relatively smooth, because you have less chance of twisting your ankle. It's a good exercise to get to, because then you start to strengthen all the other muscles around it, as well as the ankle itself. Let's see if there's anything I can think of. Oh yeah, that's right. So once you are starting to get better and you're trying to actually get back into the game, I highly suggest that you get a compatible ankle brace. And to be honest with you, wearing one was just very, very, very weird to me. And I bought two. So I got one for the left and one for the right. And I think that that's the way to go, just to avoid um, any imbalances and things like that. So I bought this particular one, and the first couple of days was weird using it, but then when I started using both of them at the same time, it started working really well. I liked it. I felt a little bit more explosive and more sure, and I wasn't worried about planting, doing step backs and things like that. So this is how it looks inside of the shoe. Kyrie's are my only shoes that accommodate these perfectly to where I don't really have to, unlace everything just to put the shoe in. So that's why I went with that. So all these exercises I got off of YouTube. I was looking at, let's see who it was. All the exercise information, I got it from Brad and Bob from their YouTube physical therapy videos. Bob Schrupp and Brad Heineck have over 50 years of combined experience in the physical therapy field. So just watching their videos, implementing that as well as the continuous motion, trying to keep my foot as loose as possible from when I wake up to the last moment at night. One thing I forgot to add was that I was icing after all those exercises because you tend to get sore. And then right before I was going to bed, I was massaging it so that way it could be loose, you know, going into a long night where my foot's not going to be moving as much. And then I was also using the brace at night just to keep my ankle in the position that I wanted it. Not to mention that I have a dog that likes to jump up on the bed, so if for some reason he jumped, at least my ankle wasn't going to twist the wrong way or hurt as much as it would. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a like, give it a comment. If you have any questions, let me know. I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. If I don't know the answer, I can look for it and I can point you in the right direction.